Law Talk with Nick Maruchak. Thanks to MKI Legal, your trusted employment and family lawyers.
I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won.
G'day, Nick.
G'day, Bowie.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah, you're busy, I understand, and that's good. If you'd like to phone Nick, you can, 133 882. We touched on this last week. If you see a smoky vehicle out and about, smoke billowing out of someone's exhaust, can you still dob them in?
Yes, you can, right? So the law, I looked this up, it's against the law for a vehicle built after 1930 because that's like the vintage vehicle, right, cut-off date. If the exhaust...
After 1930.
Yeah, right, because there's other rules for those vintage cars, right?
Okay.
So it's actually in the Act, 1930. It's around Australia. It's that's the cut-off date that they say for cars, so there are probably different rules for the older ones. But the rule is that you can't have visible exhaust emissions for a continuous period of 10 seconds or more. So they exclude like water and heat shimmer and stuff. But so that's what makes it unlawful. And the government does have a report a smoky vehicle form.
Mm-hmm.
They've so you can go on the website on the wa.gov.au website and report it. So some interesting stats. In like 2023-24, they received over 1,000 reports. And what they do is they don't really send you a fine. They will send you a letter to try and encourage you and give you a gentle nudge to try and fix it. And about 2/3 of owners responded and said they will repair and fix the issue. So that is a bit of a public service.
That figure, Nick, of over 1,000, is that WA or Australia?
That's WA.
Yeah, okay. Wow, that's a lot.
So it is doing a positive good. And interestingly, there's also there was about there was 7 people that lodged 28% of all reports. So that really skewed the data. So I don't know who those 7 people are that are just reporting everyone.
Ring now. Are you one of the 7 people that dobs in smoky vehicle? That's funny.
I mean, I don't know how busy they would be, but you really don't have much time for anything else if you're out on the road.
7 people. that's pretty funny. 133 882 is the phone number. So can the government compel you to have work done on your vehicle, or is it sort of a gentle reminder and here's a form and here's some registered repairers? Yeah,
so that gentle reminder, but if they work in tandem with the police, right? So then if the police get involved, then the yellow sticker happens, right? The fine happens. It's about $100 on the spot fine, but if they take you to court, it can be up to $800. Or they just put a yellow sticker on your car. So that's what would be in the extreme event that would happen.
Yeah, so the other part of that is 1,000 people last year were fined for having a smoky exhaust. Was that you? Are you one of the 7 who scrutinises heavily and goes after these people, or are you one of the 1,000 that were fined last year where you dobbed in by someone else? Would it be you can dob people in? I guess the question is would you?
Yeah, and it's not a fine. Like this system, they will send a letter just to kind of, is a gentle nudge. So it will just encourage them to repair the vehicle. So about 300 people kind of responded and said, yep, happy to repair it. I don't know how many fines. I read the report. They didn't say how many fines there are. That's done more by the police. But this could lead to a fine as well, though, because they work in tandem with them.
Yeah. All right. If you'd like to phone in, you can, 133 882. And we can talk about age discrimination in the workplace as well, which may interest some of our listeners because it's a lot of it is relationship based, isn't it, Nick? How you get on with your colleagues, what's an acceptable level of humour, and so on and so on. But we'll have a look at that in just a sec. G'day, Bob. Thanks for ringing.
Oh, hi. Yeah, guys. Nick, I'd sent you a message a while ago, and it was just regarding a tenant that had fled my property and left all sorts of damage and everything like that, and gone to court, won the court case, and again, the tenant's just not responding to the fact that they now owe, thousands of dollars in malicious damage to the property. So you gave me advice to go and check out the WAEC and the AEC Electoral Commission rolls.
Yep.
And I did that. And on both of them, they still had my property address under their name. So I was just wondering, is there any other options I have now?
Okay, so when you're commencing legal proceedings, part of the process is you have to serve the claim on the person. So you have to get a process serve, or you have to serve yourself. So you have to find them. If you can't find them, there is a process that the court has. It's called substituted service. So what this means is you have to apply to the court and you have to say, normally service is done by giving the person the document in the hand. This process will allow you to serve them in another way. So this could be by text message, it could be by Facebook, it could be by email. So the question is, do you have any other way to contact this person besides their address?
Yeah, any other method, Bob? Can you find them?
Yeah. I definitely have a text message and email.
And are they communicating back to you?
They had been, yes.
Okay.
So then you would apply for substituted service. So you'll contact the magistrate's court and just tell them the process. You'll make just ask them about the procedure. You'll make an application. You'll normally have to fill out an affidavit, which will say, this is all the steps I've taken to try and locate their address and try and serve them. So you put the steps down as in the Electoral Roll Commission searches. And then if the court reads it and say, look, you've tried your best to try and serve them personally, okay, we're going to grant you substituted service, then they'll allow you to serve by email. So you also want to, in that application, prove that the email address or the phone number you have is their number. So if they've responded, you attach that as well. So that's how you do it. That would be my next recommendation.
Right, because I've gone to court, I've won the case.
Yep, and
yeah.
Okay, you have a judgment. So now, all right. So
yep.
Now you have to go through to the process of enforcing the judgment. So you've got the court.
That's right.
So then you have to kind of go through. There is some steps involved, and you can call the court for the procedure. But to initiate the process of enforcing it, that can be done a number of ways, right? So one thing they do is they can bring the person to the court, and they can kind of garnish their wages and stuff like that. So So have you taken any steps to enforce that judgment against them through the court?
No, because I didn't. Because it cost quite a bit, but they need an address, And
right, Bob, I might have to take you offline, mate. See if we can. If Nick can help you resolve that, because it's long running. Obviously, we can talk about this one with you for a couple of weeks now. So stay there, mate. I'll put you back to Tracy and to Soph, and we'll see if Nick can follow up with you. Hi, Jason.
Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Bowie. Got a place in Gilderton. Sits up on the hill. It's one of the original homes, beautiful ocean views and so forth. In latter years, a new home behind me has been built, trees growing very close to the fence. Both homes are very close to each other because they both sit up high on a hill, trying to take advantage of the views and so forth. A lot of trees on the neighbour's property is taking out half of my view over the years. I'm not the original owner, and the current person with those trees on the property is not the current owner of that property either. Apart from trying to have a coffee with him, which I will do, I just thought I'd touch base and say where does that all stand legally before I start the conversation.
Wow, so the tree is blocking your view. Is that right?
Multiple trees, and starting to take a lot of the view away.
Are they growing, Jason? Are they still growing? Are they getting bigger?
Oh yes. Yeah, absolutely, okay. And new ones have been planted too. Mm.
So is the trees coming on your property? Because if some of the
they do overhang. They do overhang, but it's not so much the overhanging. It's just its canopy is just taking out the total view.
What's the view of?
Ocean.
Damn. I don't know if you own your view, do you?
No, this is a hard one. I don't think you can. There are very limited ways you can protect a view. So sometimes on properties, you might, on the certificate of title, you can actually put some sort of restrictive covenant, they're called, which prevents the owner from building up to a certain height, and that will protect the views. But that's one example I've seen. It's rare, unless there is something wrong with the tree, unless the trees are infringing, say, council regulations or something like that. If they're coming on your property, you can trim that part off that comes on your property, right? But you can't trim the part that's on their property. So I don't think you can, there's steps you can take.
Really tough one, isn't it, Jake? Yeah. Do you get on with him okay, or her?
They've only been there for 12 months themselves, so I haven't even actually spoken to them, and that's so I'll clearly try and reach out to him first. And
Yeah, mate. I'm not Nick, but I've just heard the issue raised so many times on different law segments that we have here on 6PR. You see houses have their views built out all the time and canopied out as well, if canopied is a word. Good luck, mate. Let us know how you go. I hope hope if you have a Pimm's and lemonade with them, it might go somewhere. But it's not illegal, is it, to build out someone's view or to put trees in?
You might offer him some money maybe to trim the tree, but so maybe that's something you can try. But it's need consent.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for calling us. It's 14 minutes to 11. We'll come back. Carol, stay there. We have Nick Maruchak with us today. We're talking the law, age discrimination at work. Is it okay to call one of your colleagues a boomer? Sophie? Is it okay to call one of your colleagues a boomer?
Not okay.
Every day? Once an hour? We'll come back in just a moment. 13 minutes to 11. If you want to call in, you can. 133 882. We'll get to the age discrimination issue in just a moment. Truckee Carol, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Simon. I'm wonderful. And hello, Nick. I've got a question for you.
Hello, Carol.
Yeah, so hello. My son-in-law was visiting his mum in a nursing home, and he was backing into the car park. And at the back of the car park, back by the wall, they've got those little bollard things, sort of metal triangle things, so you can't back into the wall, so your wheels hit it and everything before you hit the wall. Anyway, so he's backing in, and he hadn't backed right up to this concrete barrier thing, and there was a air conditioner on the wall with a bracket sticking up fairly high, and it went through his back windscreen, his back window. And he's wondering if they're liable. They said it's been there for years and he should have been more careful. And he said, well, you should have put this barrier thing further up so that I couldn't hit it. So we're wondering what the situation is.
So what actually went through the window, Carol?
The bracket of the air conditioner that they'd mounted on the wall.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a hard one. Are they liable? Because it comes down to, is that bracket, can you argue that that's against building code, right? So if you can make some sort of argument that was installed unlawfully against Australian building standards or something like that, maybe. But if it was installed to Australian business standards, Australian building standards, then you have the argument, well, they owe a duty of care to anyone that's kind of parking, and did they breach that duty of care by having that there? This one is it's hard to say, right? I mean, I think not, but what you can do is you can have a go. So you can write to them and say, look, this was defectively built. You should have taken more care, or you should have put the bollard up to protect people like me coming in, and then you see how you go. Because if the damage is under $10,000, you can potentially take it to the magistrate's court and just argue that there was negligence involved, and then if it's 10,000 under 10 grand, you win or lose, you don't pay their costs. So you can threaten going to court, and you might be able to get some money out of them. But on the face of it seems like a difficult one.
Yeah, I don't know if we helped you there, Carol. We could have a go, maybe. How much damage? What was the value?
About $800. He did contact them, and they said, well, you should have been more careful. He said, well, it was up higher than my rear vision mirror, so I couldn't see it. And he said, you should have put the bollard further forward so that couldn't happen. And they said, well, you should have been more careful.
Yeah.
If the court finds that was installed in breach of, so have a look at the building standards to see if there's anything in these big documents about installing this, because if there is, then you've got a claim. That's your strongest claim. If you can't find it, or if it's too technical, then you can just make a general argument that, look, it was just negligence. So
good luck, Truckee Carol. Thanks for phoning in today. Where are you today, Carol?
I'm heading down to Kelmscott to pick up some structural steel to go up to Angara for galvanising.
Yeah, all right. Take care, hey. Look after yourself.
Will do. Thank you for that.
Thanks,
Bye.
Carol. 133 882 is the phone number. G'day, Lynn.
Oh, hi. I just have a query in regard to a contract that I have with the lifestyle village that we live in. According to the contract, our utilities are to be billed by the company, and we're only to be charged for usage. So we're metered sort of, and we get billed bi-monthly. But all of a sudden we've received notification from another company that they're going to be billing us separately for our electricity, and they're now also going to charge us a service fee. So I'm just wondering where we stand in regard to the legality of the contract that we've signed.
So what is the exact issue?
So I think what Lynn's saying is they've got in the village that they're in, they should just pay for electricity usage and not for line rental and all that sort of thing. Lynn, is that what you're saying? Not for the overheads? The village should meet those?
That's right. The contract that we signed says that we will be billed by the operator, which is, the Lifestyle Village operator, and that we'll only be charged for our consumption. So we've got a separate meter on each premises, so we sort of are read every 2 months.
They're now trying to bill you for the whole lot now, are they?
They're now trying to bill us separately through another company. They've given them all our private details. This company set us up accounts, and they've given us no prior knowledge to this happening. And now they want to charge us, as well as consumption, they want to charge us a service fee, a monthly service fee as well.
Well, yeah, that doesn't pass the pub test, but I imagine legally it wouldn't be okay either, would it?
So there's a lot of regulation when it comes to retirement villages. So if this is a retirement village, then there's something called the Retirement Villages Code, which sets out. So have a look at that. That will set out when the requirements when it comes to utilities. And my understanding is that a resident can only be charged for utilities that they actually use, or if they can't meter them directly to the resident, then a fair and reasonable portion of their share. So,
who's the third party? Is it the supplier, the electricity supplier?
Yes, it's not Synergy or anything. It's a separate company. They've organised to have this separate company, electricity company, now bill us separately, and they're creating an account and going to charge us consumption as well as this service fee, monthly service fee as well.
Doesn't sound right. Where could Lynn go for advice? So, given that she, by the sounds of things, if she's in a lifestyle village, money might be an issue.
Yep. So first of all, have a look at the Retirement Villages Code that I mentioned. Have a look at Regulation 12. That's what's coming up at the moment. And then these things are highly regulated. And from memory, I just don't know off the top of my head, but I think it's Department of Commerce is where you can go. Because if they did breach it, then that could be that. Well, there's obviously consequences for that, and they have to fix it. The question is whether that service fee is able to be charged, right? So they can't mark up utilities, and the question is whether that service fee is a markup or not. So there usually is a process inside the retirement village where you can complain to them. So first do the internal complaint with them and see if you can resolve it, and if you can't, then there is an external process, which I will, if I grab I think it's, you can either go to Consumer Protection or you can go to the State Administrative Tribunal, right? So, and that's where you can argue and make it, with SAT, you can argue that this fee is unreasonable or it's void, and then you potentially get a success that way. So, Lynn, I can probably, if you just leave your email, I can send you some information. I can have a look at this Regulation 12 just to see, just to check it out a bit more, and then I can give you some information about the steps you can take. But first, make the internal complaint. Yeah,
Lynn, I'll put you back to my colleagues who are not ageist, to Sophie and to Tracy. Put them back to you, and you can. We'll get an email off you, and Nick will be in touch. 3.5 minutes to 11. Nick, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Well, thanks for the information on the smoky vehicles. And when I see you next week, we'll have a look at the discrimination in the workforce, the age discrimination, which is quite subtle, isn't it? And quite nuanced.
Oh, yeah. And it happens all the time just from speaking to people. People experience it over 50. It's a real
over
thing.
50. Young people.
I was at the post office and there was just someone going, "Oh, you can't get a job. They don't need for you over 50." So it's just people. It's out there.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, mate. Well done. See you next week.
Thank you,
Nick Maroochak from MKI Legal. 3 minutes to 11. Back in a sec.